Hey guys, Coach for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. If you are watching this live, please announce yourself when you come onto the program. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel and please like the videos. And also, please leave me a comment. When you leave a comment on YouTube, YouTube uses the algorithms to send Coach for the Soul around the world to places and people that need a little bit more Coach for the Soul. So that's pretty good. I don't know why we're having noise outside. Of course, it has to happen at 3 o'clock, like always. You know, just the way things go. It's been quiet all day. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Julie. Hey, Kathy. So yeah, 99% clairvoyant reading. Got a lot to talk about since I wasn't here last week. Hello, Allison Strange. And yeah, so gonna get a little deep today. So want to let everybody know that I'm now doing, hey Billy, I'm now doing 3 to 5 to 7 minute videos every day that I will post on my YouTube channel. They will not be on YouTube, or they will not be on Facebook. They'll only be on YouTube. Trying to find a way to do it with my laptop instead of my iPad. Hi, Ruth. Thank you, Ruth. I love putting those on YouTube. Yes. Hey, Pratik, how's it going? How's it going? So, yeah, so there's a lot to talk about. But I think we're going to start because I think we're going to talk the whole hour. Hello, Teresa Parker. How are you? Hey, Pat. Thank you. Yes, Pratik, we need to talk again. So, just set up an appointment, okay? Like next week or tomorrow. I'm doing the Psychic Fair in Saginaw this weekend. I was guided to do that. Kind of cool. Hey, Sherry. And it's gonna be fun to go back, into it. Yeah. So, okay. First thing we're gonna talk about is in spirituality, when we listen to other people. Hey, Blake, what's going on? When we, like we watch Abraham Hicks, or we watch different people on YouTube and things like that. Hi, Alex. How's it going? Or you see posts on Facebook and or Instagram or some social media platform. They're always saying, let stuff go. They're always saying, and I've said it too when I'm channeling, right? And this is channel 2. I just did a massive cool meditation. Yes, it's awesome. And 2 of them. And one, the Violet Flame, and the other one was a Steve Noble Daily. Awesome. So I'm really deeply like into it. They're like pounding on my head right now to get going. But I needed to say that. When we read to let things go, when we have this energy that we don't know what to do with, they say sit with it. Okay, what does that mean? So I'm going to break all that down. Okay, be very honest. I was guided today with what we're going to talk about later to set the record straight, to just make it like exactly how I felt during the last Mercury retrograde and the one before that. Okay, and we have another one coming on December 29th. Hi, Kathy. Okay. So we're going to have 4 this year and 4 next year, which doesn't ever happen except for now because of quantum energy. All right. So let me explain this right. Okay, hang on. When we read or we listen to people say things, our ego grabs hold of that. Okay, and it can make you feel really bad when you can't let it go. When you can't do all the things. Stay in this harmony, in this vibration, and you will get everything that you want. Well, that's bullshit. That's not real life. That's not human. Okay? And they act like they're these people that are in this energy all the time, and my life is what? That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. I will tell you straight out. It's a lie. Okay? I agree with the message, but we have to be conscious of what we're being fed. Okay, and you know me, I'm not into any type of propaganda stuff at all. This is what Spirit is telling me, okay? Because when we're in that place of being honest, we're in that place of being vulnerable, we're in that place of being open like we're supposed to be, right? That we buy into, which we should, to a point, But then we make ourselves feel bad with our egos, okay? And this Mercury retrograde proved it to me. I was in absolute turmoil for 3 weeks. Emotional distress, turmoil. How come I can't get rid of it? I tried everything that I have taught, got everything that I have channeled, everything. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I don't get it. How come this isn't happening for me? How come it's not going away? How come I feel so bad? And what kept, and I was totally in ego most of the time. Couldn't get out of it. Completely just was in control, as my therapist would say, in the driver's seat, driving the bus. I'm like, okay, I don't understand. And that's why I canceled Coaching for the Soul last week, okay? Because it was almost at the end of Mercury retrograde, and I was in the like, what the hell is this about? I don't know what's going on. I mean, my business kind of evaporated. It pretty much did, because it wanted me to just sit in it but not understand it. That's the key. Not understand it. So what I want everybody to understand is sometimes you're not going to understand it until it's done. Okay? Can you make yourself feel better? There's ways that you can. If it's the water, if it's your pets, if it's your spouse, your partner, whatever, right? As long as it's not alcohol and drugs, I think we're good. But sometimes there isn't anything. Hey, Krita. Sometimes there isn't anything, you guys, to release that energy. Sometimes we can't. Sometimes we're not supposed to, Spirit always says. But sometimes you can't do it. That's because me, being the Capricorn, I'm like, come on, let's get along with this thing. Come on. What is the deal? How come I can't make this better? Because I can't make it better, and neither can you. They have to. Okay? So for me to feel that, I know people feel it too. Other people feel it too. I know they do. Because I look at myself as being the master of being able to work through stuff, being the Capricorn that I am, and being so deeply connected that I am. Not arrogance at all. It's just like I'm able to. But these last 2 times of Mercury retrograde, it absolutely stopped me in my tracks. Okay? So I want everybody to understand that not to feel bad, not to let their ego click in and grab hold of, right? And completely just be the mastermind. It's not even of destruction. It's past behavior. And I learned that also in the last week of the Mercury retrograde last week, right? If any of you saw my post about the rocking chair I threw away, okay? Again, I got that on a Sunday morning. Some work that I did that Tammy Braswell had sent me to here, do this. She received it last week. Here, Bill, do this, see what it does. And I'm telling you, epiphany. Okay? When I started the work, I heard, this is for you. Okay. Well, could you have brought me that like 2 weeks ago? No. I had to be with that and understand that I can't fix it. That even meditation, talking out loud, you feel helpless. And sometimes I understand we have to feel helpless, but it is such a deep, dark place. So when that happens to us, okay, we need to reach out. Call me, right? Thank you, Shannon, for putting Tammy Braswell's name, tagging her in my post. I'm not sure. It wasn't it was Coaching for the Soul post. I believe that I canceled it. And that is the way that Tammy checked out that I wasn't going to do Coaching for the Soul that day. And she reached out to me. Okay? Should I have done it differently? Yes. And it's hard for me. Okay? It always has been hard for me. But I'm learning, right? And that's the thing that we don't want to do. We don't want to beat ourselves up for not. We don't want to beat ourselves. No, that's ego. That is ego just grabbing you and pulling you right back into the bullshit that the universe is trying to pull your ass out of. Okay? So we have to understand that. It's going to happen it's going to happen one more time this year and 4 more times next year. And hi Kelly, and the one that's the 29th of December goes into January 17th, of course, it's all in Capricorn, okay? So that's one of the ones for next year. So it's kind of a double barrel, okay? So there's 3 after that, all right? But those Mercury retrogrades are there to pull that stuff up. Hi, Shelley. To pull that stuff up that has not been released yet and make you feel it. It makes you understand. So my whole process, not knowing until the last day of Mercury retrograde, right? I needed to throw away the chair. I needed to throw away the chair, the rocking chair that my mother would rock me in when I was a child, when I was in the hospital for days or weeks on end, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, to help me go to sleep. Because I would not go to sleep. I constantly cried my childhood, okay? Because of abandonment, because of being left in the hospital by myself, right? At 5 or 6 or 7, when my mom had to go home and take care of the family, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's Billy, but there's the rocking chair. She would come back after dinner and rock me to sleep and put me in bed. Good mom. Yeah, see? And it made her nauseous. She hated rocking me, but the only way to get her child to go to sleep was to rock me. And it was, energy was in that chair. Okay, all that childhood junk was in that chair. So when they said throw it away, I'm like, okay, put it in my car, went over to the dumpster in the new section of the complex, and I could barely put it in the dumpster. Because it was like, I can't do this, it's the chair. I can't do it, it's the chair. But I said, no, but you have to throw that chair away. You have to put the chair in the dumpster. And I did. And by 1 o'clock that afternoon, so when we get those messages, we have to follow through. But it took them 3 weeks. Hey, Valerie. Took them 3 weeks of me suffering, and I was suffering. Trust me. I was in a place of WTF. Wholeheartedly, what the muck are you doing to me? Okay? But it hasn't been back since. So getting the chair, the energy out of my house, because I would sit in it to meditate every day. I'd sit in it to do everything. It's just like, that's my chair that I rocked in, you know? But it needed to go. That's why when I channel for people, especially on Coaching for the Soul, to get rid of your stuff, it all has energy in it. I'm telling you guys, it's got energy in it. I mean, this was probably 55 years old because I'm 62. So maybe even younger than that. Maybe older than that. I was probably younger than that. Maybe 56, maybe 57 years old. So I had all that energy inside that wooden rocking chair. Yeah. See, hey, Doris. So when those Mercury retrogrades come around, okay, they're there for one reason, to help us clear our stuff out. And as we meditate, as we reach out to people like myself, just reach out, right? It's again, I'll do that stuff for nothing. It's not the point about making money on that. It is about, can you donate? Yes, you can donate on my BillHobert.com page if you want to do that. That's fine. But it's about helping us understand that we're in the collective together, you guys. We're in this thing together. We're in it together. Okay? I don't care what level you are. I mean, I think I'm pretty good in the place that I'm at, times, but that doesn't mean that we don't suffer. Trust me, I've never suffered so much in the, I'm gonna cry, I don't want to, in that past 3 weeks, or I didn't know what to do. But my ego stopped me from reaching out to people. Terry Williams I talked to, which is a really good friend. Again, thank you to Shannon for getting to friends. Yeah. See? So we have to be conscious of that, which I will be in December, right? That if I need to reach out, I will. And I will tell you the reason that I usually don't reach out is because I've been told by Spirit, Bill, they're not you. They're not as willing to share their time with other people. Well, I'm that guy. I'll share all the time I got, if that's what I got to do, right? because that's what my job is. And truly, when I say that's my job, that's what I do for a living, right? And as a collective, that's what we do. We have to have each other's backs. We have to make sure that it doesn't matter where you're at in the levels, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because there's always people that are going to be higher than you in vibration, all right? There is. But there's also people who claim to be high in vibration, which they are, but they still are a muggle. I'm telling you, I know a few of them, okay, that are great mediums and great clairvoyants and great teachers, but they still have that wounded, hey Brandon, how's it going, man? That wounded human that's stuck inside that boom gets them and boom gets them and boom gets them. And they go, Bill, I don't know what to do. The blessing is they reach out to me, which is awesome because I love to help people like that, right? But the one thing that I want to make sure that everybody understands is that, and I've said this in every Coaching for the Soul, I think, for the past 3 years, I'm always around. Hey, Sue-Ann. It's about getting out of our ego, getting out of our caterpillar phase, right? Our cocooning, right? And it's hard. It's hard. And it isn't about pride. It's not, you're so deep into the feeling of helplessness that you can't even, and it's not, I know, Spirit says it's not like depression. It's just like suffocating that you're, okay, this is so heavy that what do I need to do to let it go? You can't do it on your own. I'll tell you, I couldn't. And that was deep-seated childhood trauma from me having kidney disease and almost dying 3 times for the first 10 years of my life. Okay? And my parents freaking out, the energy in my house. I mean, you guys know the story about my family and things like that. And if you don't, there's plenty of videos on Coaching for the Soul on my YouTube channel to tell you about it. Again, wonderful mother, wonderful father, right? Good family. Just different family. And all of us have that. Hi, Liz. We all have people in our family that we have experiences with that are not pleasant experiences, or we're that person that does it to somebody else. I did it to my sister, you know, and I've apologized, and we're all good and things like that, right? Because I was being bullied by my brother. It's all good, right? We both have made peace with that, right? So we have to understand that when we're in that place, that sometimes we have to reach out. My sister wouldn't even reach out to me when she's in that place. She has her own she has her own things, all right? So when you hear constantly, let it go, let your shit go, when you constantly are hearing, if you keep your vibration this high, you get everything that you want, that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because no one can keep it that high until they decide you're going to be that high. So the more that you try to keep it up there, and the more that you ebb and flow, right? If ego's involved in that, you're like, well, why should I do it? I keep falling down. Can't I get up there where I'm, but you're higher than you think. That's the thing. Ego's telling you, because you're ebbing and flowing, right? That because you can't have all perfect days. It doesn't happen. Like there's a meditation from Abraham Hicks that do this every day. Okay, guess what? There's more to most of us than there is on that Abraham Hicks morning meditation. Is it good? Yes. Is a Steve Noble good? Oh, hell to the yes. For me, like, boom, clears me out, not angry, connected deeply to spirit. It's all good, right? For as long as it lasts. See? So I want everybody to understand and get that when you get that tinge, when you're in that mood, when you're in that energy, that space, okay, of, gosh, how come I can't keep my vibration that high? That's why I'm not getting what I want. How come I can't? Baby, it takes time. I'm going to tell you this next. I'm working on a program that Lee Harris has, and I post Lee Harris energy a lot on my Facebook page. I'm doing a course with him about building your business and things like that. Had our first Zoom conversation last Friday. And epiphany after epiphany after epiphany, okay? One of them is Number one, you can't keep your vibration at high all the time. Okay, well, that kind of confirmed what I was receiving from spirit, right? Confirmation. Also, that, hang on, he may be changing the directions here. We're doing Lee Harrison. Hang on, there's something else. What is that? Hang on. He doesn't want to go in that thing. He wants to do that last. Okay. What else? What else is going? Oh, I see the connection. Okay. So I get it. That wasn't the plan that we made before we started this. I followed the outline. He changed the outline. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this, because it ties in with us, right? It ties in with us. The way you treat your children and the way you treat your sons, especially. Okay? If you have children that are male, how much love and affection do you give your sons? How much love and affection do they get from their dads? And what's the narrative of, can be male, female, but today he wants to focus on the males first, okay? Because with the change in energy, with the change in who human is, we as grandparents, I wish I was, but I'm not. Parents, I wish I was, but I'm not. Can use how we were brought up to raise our children in energy that no longer serves them at all. So as a gay man and understanding that I was treated by my mom and my dad in the 1960s pretty effing beautifully, right? That, and again, I picked the right mom and dad, right? I truly did. But my grandparents and my aunts and uncles weren't so kind all the time, all right? And now we're into the 2022s and beyond. And as of 2012, the energy shifted. COVID kicked that baby up 3-4 notches to a higher dimensional, right? Into 4D, right? So now we're having children being born that we're treating the same way that we were treated as children, or the way we treated our children, and now these are our grandchildren, okay? And we have to understand that boys have to understand that they can cry, they can be emotional. It's not a bad thing. Don't need to toughen up. Boys don't do that. Stop. It does not serve your children. It does not serve your boys. It doesn't serve your females, your girls who want to play with Tonka trucks. And some people will say, well, the lines are getting blurred. Bingo. Because guess what? The higher we go in dimension, the less sex of humans matters. Hey, Zeus, it's not going to matter. Still going to be intercourse, still going to be procreation, still going to be all the things that we've done for humankind. Only the definitions of what boys and girls are is going to slowly disappear. Because you want to raise your boys to love girls or love boys. You want your girls to love boys or love girls, right? Because that's the nature of the world, everybody. And it's not going to change as much as some people would like it to go back to the 1950s and 60s. It's not going to happen. As they try as they may to cling onto with their nails in the chalkboard, like a freaking cat hanging out a window. No. Those days are done. So the best thing that you can do, hi Nancy, the best thing that you can do for your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, is let them be human beings. We come to this earth with a heart that's full of emotion. We all did, right? We all do. Yeah. Billy says, love gets blurred. It gets blurred. Masculine energy thinks that the boys have to be masculine. This guy, well, maybe that's who they are. Maybe they're not. Hi, Jody. Right? I had a smorgasbord in my family. My oldest brother was light and fluffy and kind of a goofball. My second brother was a Sagittarius, and he was hard and crusty and determined and very successful, right? But tough, very tough, all right? Very tough. And then Billy comes along, and here it is. You know, you get it. Loves everybody and blah, 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 blah. And then my sister, God love her, still emotional being, and not understanding how come she didn't get a lot. Well, my mom had 3 boys and a girl. Guess what? The girl didn't get a lot, right? So because my mom wasn't a girly girl. She was a masculine woman. She was a Taurus. She came from the farm, right? So we have to take that into account. Well, my dad was not. My dad was loving and understanding and wonderful. The youngest of 3. They had 5, 2 died. He was the youngest of 3. He had 2 older sisters and my granny, who came from France. So and my grandfather had died. See? So some way, shape, or form, we have to make sure that we are not allowing our children to treat our grandchildren like this. Saying things that are not true. Boys don't cry. You need to suck that up. Oh my God. If I heard that one more time from my sister about my nephew, I was going to freaking just go off and go crazy. We're trying to toughen him up. Well, that's not the way to do. He's a Cancer. He's always going to have this big old heart hanging out of his chest. He's going to have that forever. You know, we need to make him ready for basketball and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. There's ways of doing that. Let him follow his course. And now he's 25. Now kids now that are 7, 8, 9 years old, boys especially, they don't have a barometer. They do not understand exactly what to do if dad isn't loving and wonderful. If dad's yelling, if mom's yelling, if mom's not giving hugs and kisses and because it's not her, because of all the stuff that she's carrying. See? So that's where if you're a grandparent, you can step in and say, well, you know what, honey, let's go over here. Honey, let's go over here, right? Whatever you have to do. Because we're going to want those people to take care of us when we're old and gray. In 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Okay? And what we do also is we allow our children to have a better chance. Because the world has changed 100%. And it's going to continue to change, everybody. We're not going backwards. That's done. The life that we as human beings knew is gone. God, thank God. Okay? And we can cling on to it. Hey, Paula. We can cling on to it. We can hang on. We can believe. We can do all the things. Think about, oh my gosh, but our parents did the same thing. Same thing. My good friend and I were talking yesterday about how something happened 40 years ago. And he said to me, can you imagine 40 years ago? I'm like, no. Again, it was 1972, right? 72? 82. 1982. Hey, Cheryl. Crazy. Our parents all are gone, but you think about when we were teenagers, in our 20s, let's say, teens and 20s, 30 years before that, it was the 40s. How things change, how things progress, how social change happens. Well, guess what, guys? This is global change. So we have to change the way that we treat our children, how we treat our grandchildren, our nieces, our nephews, and ourselves, and our spouses, and our pets. Honestly, because what you're doing is setting your children up for success, giving them a head start in keeping their energy high. Well, they don't even know because we come into this world way up here. Human brings us down into third dimension. Never thought about that till last week. See? Never even thought about it. It just boomed in my head. And that 3-day weekend of releasing everything. Yeah. We do that to our children and our grandchildren, and it comes down to, like I've said before, Spirit is firm on this, parents taking our power away. But not giving us anything back in return. Not giving us anything back. See? Leaving us with nothing. How do we know what to do with our emotions? We don't. We follow what our parents do. We follow what our brothers and sisters do, and we copy it, which is the worst thing we could possibly do, right? If our parents and our family are jacked up, if they're living in dysfunction. I said to somebody yesterday that the only way that you can change your life is to change it yourself. And they were like, Bill, there's no way I can. Yes, there is. Slowly but surely. Trust me, slowly but surely. The great thing is you have the freaking universe on your side that we didn't have 20 years ago through our process of going to therapy, talk therapy, or trying to find what the hell is going on in our lives. Yes. So it's very, very important that we keep that in our mind when we're around our family, especially if you are the matriarch or someone of importance that has influence, grandma, grandpa, whatever, mom, dad, that can inject those types of things. I did with my sister, with my nephew, back in the early 2000s, and she would get mad at me. I'm like, no. You aren't telling him, no, we're not. No, you're not doing that. That is wrong to do. That is wrong. And I wasn't even this guy. I was just like being a gay man and meeting all types of people in my lifetime who were told that because they were guys and they needed to act like guys. I didn't get none of that. I was as girly as you could possibly imagine. I mean, trust me, I was girly down to my bones. And I loved it. I loved who I was. Very flamboyant, very girly. I didn't care. Because that's who Billy's always been. Yeah. But I grew into myself, as boys will do, as females will do, as humans will do, Spirit says. It's what is our hardest thing to overcome is what was indoctrinated into us, but also how we survived, Spirit says, not lived, how we survived in our first parts of our life. Because that's pretty much, in most instances, that's what we did. Unless you had granola parents, as my parents would say, the hippies, who didn't hit their children. They got down on one knee and talked to their children face to face, like you should do. They didn't yell at their children, right? And I'll never forget my mother saying that, well, that child doesn't understand. And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe they do. Well, now I know in 2022, of course they do. That soul might be twice as old as yours, maybe 10 times older than yours. It's just in a little body and the brain hasn't connected yet. It's tiny. But then all of a sudden they grow up and you go, where did he learn that? Where'd she get that from? Guess what? Their past lives. So interestingly enough, it's all about making sure that that the way that we treat ourselves is the way that we have to treat our family, if allowed. If it's not allowed, then guess what? Kind of got to do it on the side. When you get the grandkids, and you're the favorite grandparent or whatever it might be, because they feel the love because you don't yell and scream, you don't paddle, you don't smack their hand, you are not their friend, because it's got to be boundaries, right? But we have to make sure that we are raising our children to be children. Not boys are blue, girls are pink. No. Hi, Amy. I love pink. I've always loved pink. I love red, but I got blue on the brain just because it's all I can find in like coats and things. So I know. Spirit is be as flamboyant as you want to be. I know. Whatever I'm comfortable with. And that's the key. Making our boys comfortable with who they are if they aren't the basketball player, or they're not the IT guy, IT kid, right? Or they're kind of weird. Awesome. Just protect and put boundaries up. And if you don't have boundaries, you have to learn how to put up boundaries. And you'll learn that through your spiritual ascension. But we have to make sure, as parents, as grandparents, as humans, that we treat our little ones with respect, Spirit says. Because one day they will run your world, and that's true. That's true. So many times we don't get that as children. We didn't get that as children. I know I didn't. Man, my mother came out of the Depression. They did the best they could. And God love them, right? But Uncle Bill was always the one who took care of the nieces and nephews and gave them that extra little love and that attention. And they would come to when they were crying because they got yelled at, you know. And that's what I did. I nurtured the babies, right? And what's wonderful is the fact that we have those memories together, right? What we have to do is make sure that when they don't have us in their world anymore because they've moved on, hey Michelle, because they're going to, guys, they're going to move on, as we want them to as adults. Our my nieces and nephews kind of, they're not connected. They're just muggles. They'll get there. I know they will, eventually. Probably when Uncle Bill's, I don't know, around, right? My nephew in Denver is connected 100% and uses it, and it's awesome. But he said he lives in Colorado, so it's kind of with my sister and her husband, who my sister kind of gets it, and he had Uncle Bill's influence in there too. See, so Spirit wants to make sure that we are teaching our children to feel. Okay, when they're upset, why are you upset? And let them tell you why they're upset. If they're having a temper tantrum, let them have the temper tantrum. What that is releasing energy inside their brain, inside their body, and it's frustration. Because they can't tell you what they need to tell you, either out of fear, being punished, being yelled at, being spanked, being told it's wrong, being told to shut up. I don't want to hear it. Not right now. What does that do to a child that, I mean, I know how it feels as an adult. How does it feel for a child to be told that when they don't know why? They just want to give you love. They want you to be their mama and their daddy to go, honey, I understand, when you may not. But it brings the bond together. It makes things more love. It makes things more balanced. Now, does the outside world understand? Not all 100% yet. Do brothers and sisters understand? No. Not supposed to. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. That's what's so important about now, is making sure that we prepare our boys, especially our boys, because females can be more emotional, and they're accepted to be more emotional because that's the role that females play. Well, boys are just as emotional, only they get mad. They'll punch things. They get angry. They get frustrated, because that's what boys do. If they're not taught that that's not the way to do it, I want you to tell me when you're 2, honey, what's wrong. And there's no anger there. There's no frustration there. And that's difficult. I've learned that with Bailey, right? Sometimes I get frustrated and I tell myself, Bill, he's 99 years old. My gosh, he's blind. There's other things wrong with him. You know, he's on his way to being allowed to pass. And you just have to give him love. So he gets more love and attention than passing I love yous and things like that. See? So it all works in tandem together. Okay? Now, cool. Spirit says we got to do better, which is true. Okay. Now, Lee Harris energy. Okay. Let me connect to that. Okay, so I'm doing this course, and it is about your business and things like that. But it is super intense to the point where you hang on. Hey Brian, are you gonna go in the room? Okay. My maintenance guy's here. So let me get that connection back. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So I just lost it again. Hang on, guys. I just lost my connection. Oh, what it is. I'll get it. Oh, that's how easy it is for the connection to go like that. I put Lee in the bedroom, so he was, he'd go in the bedroom for Coaching for the Soul. Ooh, damn hot. Okay, connect with that. I don't know what it is. Weird, right? That's what happens. Let's see what else he wants to talk about, if there's anything else. Oh, let me see. I'm gonna go shut that door, guys. Stay right there. Brian, I'm gonna shut this door. Is that okay? Okay, I'm having window problems in the other bedroom, so that's what they're trying to fix today. They've been on back and forth for like 5 hours. Just replace the window. It's not that hard. Sherry says, Spirit keeps diverting you from the Lee Harris energy talk. I know, and I don't know why, because it was in the outline. It was in the outline today. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna look and just see in my notes here, because where's it at? I don't know. It's so funny because it's just like Brian walked through and I'm like, what is up? Okay, so I'm gonna try to connect again to see if he'll give it to me. Nope. So I'm gonna go through and see what people's comments are, okay? Because maybe that will happen. I'm gonna answer the questions in person. Hey, Susan. Instead of on the feed. So let me just go down here and see everybody. Bum, 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 bum. And guys, if you guys want to ask questions too, okay? I'll get to you. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Oh yeah, Sherry, that chair was. I mean, I've never even thought about it. I know Bill is a big share. One thing I love about Sherry is that she comments all the time, and it's pretty awesome. So keep doing that. Everybody should. Bum, bum, bum. Yes. Okay, so Nancy says, I've been amazed and humbled by the wisdom and insights of her students, because she was a teacher when they were young, which is true. Sherry says, as an aunt, I'm able to be the one to impart on new messages, and the kids responded well and let me know the messaging was, yeah, exactly. Let's see. See if there's something else here. Hi, Molly. How are you doing? Have you been down to Florida yet to see the house? Molly has a house, I believe it is in Fort Myers Beach, that was, I believe it was destroyed in the hurricane last week, and they haven't been down there yet. So, yeah. So, yes. Yes, Nancy, I'm in Saginaw both days, Saturday and Sunday, and I'm very, very surprised that Spirit said to do this, but this is what happened. I did all my things on the weekend, and then was it Monday? I got a message on my phone for all the readers, because we always get messages, even though I'm not doing fairs anymore, it's still on the feed. And Laura had put, I have 3 tables still available in Saginaw if anybody wants one. And I'm like, I could make up some money from the last 3 weeks. Yeah, really? And then I opened up my feed, on my YouTube feed, on my laptop, and there was the graphic for the fair that she posted 2 weeks ago. I said, well, if that ain't synchronicity. So I booked the fair. And I was like, am I doing this for the money, or am I doing it because I want to? I'm doing it because I want to. I think it's going to be a good experience. I knew I'd get what Lee Harris said. Yes. Okay, this is important. Pull yourself up, guys. All right. I think I made a video about this yesterday, but I don't remember. Okay, so when you all start to connect with your guides, okay? Because you're going to, I tell you, you're going to. If you don't already, you're going to, okay? Understand that your tower of guides may give you a name, and mine was Paul, okay? I thought it was one person. No, it's the collective, okay? So when somebody tells you that another reader or something like that, and I never knew this until this time, again, Lee Harris, saying that, it's John, or it is Paul, or it is Joshua, or it is Michael, or whatever, right? It's the whole tower of guides above you, God's really, who you will channel, who you get messages from, who you connect with, all right? Because I've said before that as I went through my process, that Paul just kind of said, no, I can't answer that question for you. You got to talk to somebody else. I'm like, why? I don't get it. Well, I didn't understand until, again, Lee Harris, that our guides in the tower above us, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever we have over lifetimes, okay, are all go under one name because we're human, they are not. Hi, Heidi. Which makes total freaking sense, right? How many times have people said to me during readings and things like that, Coaching for the Soul, Bill, what is the name of my guide? And I would say, well, you don't have just one guide. You have a tower of guides above your head. And they would say, well, Bill, what are the names are for humans? Well, that was Spirit's response until I was ready through my excruciating emotional of the last 3 weeks to finally get the message, oh, that's what that is. How freaking cool is that? And also, when you do start to connect, oh, I love you too, Heidi. Or when you hear something in a reading, okay? Hear something in a reading, and I can attest to this, and I'll tell you why. And because I'm telling you, once you start to connect deeply with your guides, either through mumbles or whatever, make sure that you're conversating back. All right? I think it's funny when people will say, well, Bill, I heard mumbling in my left side of my head. What is that? Really? Do you watch Coaching for the Soul? Yeah. Have you had readings? Yeah. Have we known each other for like 4 or 5 years? Well, yeah. Well, who do you think it is? You've been waiting for the conversation to happen. They're trying to talk to you, and you're like, well, Bill, who is that? Really? Ego. See? So as you start the communication, as you start to channel, because you will, okay? And let's say you hear somebody's name or whatever, okay? Understanding there is no time in spirit, and I've said this a million freaking times. We're on a timeline, they are not. So when they tell you something, it's not immediate. It could be future. It could be future. It could be something that happened to you 10 years ago, 8 years ago, because you were not connected then. Okay? Prime example. Spirit, where are we going to move? 2018. Where are we going to move to? Lease is up in September. We're going to move to Hawaii. Okay? How are we going to get there? Don't worry about it. Okay? Takes a lot of money to go there. Don't worry about it. Okay, fine. When are we going to go there? This year. Really? Cool. Okay. No. He doesn't know what this year is. They don't know what this year is. It's been 4 years, going on 5. Going into my 5th year of not being in Hawaii. In 2018, I took that literally. 2019, literally. 2020, literally. 21, literally. And 22, because it's been a huge ass year for change, of shifting, of letting go, of dramatic stuff going on in my life for sure. I mean, everything has shifted. I'm thinking, this is the year, check it out. Then I do the Lee Harris live conversation, and he says it, and I'm like, really? Really? Because they never have given me a year. They've never given me a year that I'm going to move. No. Going to Hawaii. You're moving to Hawaii. Trust me, Bill, you're moving to Hawaii. Okay. When? Don't worry about that. Or soon. Well, they don't know what soon is. So when we get on that feeling of awesomeness, we get in that feeling of, I believe it's going to happen, and our vibration is really high, and it's amazing, and we're cranking, and we're so freaking connected, we could freaking dance on air. That's what we're supposed to do, to put that energy out there, to bring what we want to us in time, our time, not their time, because they have no time. So we have to get out of that clinical brain, that clinical thinking, right? Of, okay, this is what they said. Well, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to happen next week. Doesn't mean it's going to happen in a year. Could happen in 3, 4, 5 years. See? And that's what's important to understand. Because ego, if we're not told, I mean, I was blown away by that. I was like, what the fuck is that about? Could you not have told me that 3, 4, 5 years ago? No, he needed to tell you that. Really? Because it was after the emotional thing. But we don't know that. So when you get into those, I call K-holes from my party days, you're going to come out of it. And I've said this before, Spirit said this before, I've read this before, I've watched this before on videos and things like that. All of a sudden, that freaking quantum leap gets back in charge and it effing throws you forward. Boom, 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 boom. And we have to go along for the ride, baby. Have to go along for the ride. All right? Because if we, I know, we don't have a choice, Spirit says. We don't have a choice. What we have the choice is believing that it's going to happen eventually. Is it easy to do? No. Belief is very, very hard. Being invested is really, really hard because we want what we want. And when people say, well, you should, bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Bullshit. No. We're human with emotions. And I want that right there, and I want it. Does that mean I want it now? Well, yeah, pretty much. Am I willing to wait? Yes. I've had many conversations with Spirit like, okay, dude, bro, whatever, right? We're going on 9 years. We're going almost five, to be 5 years in January. You told me we're moving to frickin' Hawaii. What's going on? And I hear nothing. It's just me ranting. You have to rant. It's important to let them know how you feel and to hear yourself, right? Okay. But I'm letting them know how I feel because I'm frustrated, because I want that. And then I'll open up Facebook Watch or I'll open up Instagram and I know this. There will be a posting for somebody with a lovely voice and lovely music saying not to expect everything at one time. That it's not going to happen overnight. That you have to invest deeply, Chimes, with the understanding that it's all going to come in its time. And what do you do in the process? Live. Live. Doing what? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to? Just live. Talk out loud to Spirit when you need to, right? When you're pissed off, when you're happy, when you're glowing, when you're in a freaking K-hole going, what the fuck? I don't understand. What is going on with this? But many, many times when you're in that hole and you are doing those things, ego grabs it and puts you deeper inside the hole, okay? And I noticed that a couple of times in the last 3 weeks, okay? But I couldn't get myself out of it. Why? Because I needed Tammy to send me what she needed to send me, information, right? Through Shannon, thank you, to do the meditations, and do the work within 3 days, right? So that everything could culminate on Sunday of last week. Of me throwing the chair away. And I would ask, could you just tell me to throw the chair away? He goes, no, you had to go through the process. You had to go through all that process. And how do you feel? I said, I feel pretty freaking good. That's the key. So there's always going to be times when we're going to be in those places of WTF. There's always going to be those times when we don't love ourselves, that we don't understand. Why do I feel like I'm 9 years old again? And being able to connect those dots, right? With that emotion, with that feeling, with that frustration, with that anger, with that hurt. Many, many times in readings, I will say, so what happened when you were 12? 9. They'll say, well, my mom and dad broke up. Okay. But it wasn't really close to my dad. That's not the point. Not the point at all. It was close to my mom. Not the point. I went to live with my dad. Okay. But not the point. Point is, what you knew growing up when you were born is now gone. That connection. And what does one do when you're 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, right? And you have nothing to compare it to. Ego takes over. Ego takes over to protect you from past lives. It gives you past life experiences to make you go, okay, I've got to protect myself. Okay, I've got to go inside myself. Okay, I have to do this. I have to be small. Or I have to stand up to my dad and protect my mom. Or I got to step up and protect my dad from my mom. Whatever it's going to be. Or my brothers or whatever. My sister, whatever. See? So that's what we learn when most of us are titans already. We're already titans after living through third dimensional energy for up to 12,000 years. And as we connect deeper to our guides, we connect deeper to the energy, connect deeper to where we're going to be by the end of this decade, we just have to go with the flow, let things go as much as we possibly can, not get in our head too deeply, work towards being as calm and as happy and as comfortable as we can possibly be. Because if we are not able to do that, if we are not able to, Spirit just went, you phone a friend, which is true. When you're in that place you don't know what to do, when you got to pick up the phone, you know. Even if you leave a message, right? Send me a text, then call me. There you go. Or whoever you want to reach out to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? But I will tell you, I will always answer the call. Always. Okay? As long as I know who it is, I will always answer the call. So best thing to do is to text me first, say, Bill, can you talk? Yes. Okay. And tell me who you are, because a lot of times people will think that I know you because we're such friends. And many, many people will text me, they say, hey, Bill, blah, 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 blah. And I'll say, well, who is this? Oh, I didn't think about that. Because we're so good with each other. Okay? So reach out. One more thing I will tell you that's kind of important with the energy. Okay? Because I know we're running long. Pluto goes forward in Capricorn on the 7th and the 8th. Okay, we have a full moon this weekend on the 9th. All right, so we got Pluto, the planet of destruction, been in Capricorn since 2008. Okay, my life has changed immensely because that's what it does. It completely tears apart. What no longer serves us and moves us into higher dimensional energy. Now, 2008 is when Barack Obama was elected president of the United States. Okay? So when it went into Capricorn, Capricorn is the sign of the government. So it's gone into so Pluto went into the government sign of Pluto, or Saturn, Capricorn, okay? To deconstruct that baby. And what's happened since 2008? Okay? My life's changed completely. Yeah, right? And it doesn't leave Capricorn until 2024. Jumps back and forth from Aquarius to Capricorn. So that's why next year is going to be pivotal in the way that our country moves, the way that we move. That's why Spirit says the quantum leap energy is in 23 also, of boom. And the negative thing about that is that there's always going to be those Mercury retrogrades for us to run into as we're on that grid, okay? And we have to be prepared for that. Not in a bad way, but in a way of, okay, I've made myself a list of things. Call somebody, blah, 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 blah. Because I'm like, I'm not feeling like this no more. We're not doing that. Hey, Ryan, not doing that stuff. Mm-mm. And if that doesn't work in December, which I hope it does, then maybe guess what? They'll give me something else at the end of the next retrograde, which is January 17th. Yeah. See? So, and then also, we'll talk about this again. Jupiter goes forward in Aries at the end of November. So Saturn is forward, Mercury's forward, and Jupiter's forward by December the 1st. Yes. But then we have Mars that is going retrograde, the planet of war, the planet of a more deconstruction, anger, frustration, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Barb. But the two biggest planets in our solar system are going forward, baby. It's all good. We can handle the Mars baloney. Yeah, almost said it, yeah. So, thanks for watching. I will post this on my YouTube page in about 40 minutes. Anybody who's watching, if you please, I'm gonna ask you this. Go to my YouTube channel. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to it. Like the video. Please comment. If you'll notice, on one I did a month ago, I believe it has over 750 views because of you guys. Because if you guys commented on that video, 755 people saw the video. And 20, 25, 30 people, somebody today just commented on it, and another video. So you guys, trust me, I love you. Please help me build the channel, okay? Leave a comment, even if it's just hi, Bill, okay? Because what I'm so afraid of is that when I do move, okay, that most things will be on video. So I said to Lee today, I need to get a video camera, not my iPad, right? Because I'm being guided, that's what I need to do. So a lot of things won't be live. They'll be more on YouTube to comment, and then we can kind of go back and forth and things like that. So please help me do that. Subscribe to the channel. Have your friends subscribe to the channel. Like the videos. Please comment on the videos. Watch it more than once if you want to. Just go on there and check it out. See if whatever. Because the more views, the more it goes around the world. And you guys can help me with that. So namaste, everybody. Take care of yourselves. If you need something, let me know. I'll be in Saginaw this weekend, both days, 10 to 7. I'm kind of excited about it. Haven't done a fair since June. And what's funny is I did my last fair in Frankenmuth, so it's not that far away. And it was a pretty great fair. In fact, that's where I met Nancy and I think Barb. I met Barb, I think, earlier. But yeah, so I'll be there doing readings. Doing readings every week. If you want a reading, look it up. BillHolbert.com. Element packages are there too. I'm adding some stuff to element packages. I'm gonna add a live monthly conversation in element packages for everybody who's in element packages to join a Zoom for free. I'm gonna add that to the program with no extra charge. I was guided to do that. So it's all going in the right direction. So you need anything, let me know. And I'll see you next week, Thursday at 3 for Coaching for the Soul.